Ricky, mate, I spoke to you off camera, mate.
Yeah.
Best performance of the season, is that right?
I would agree it's the best performance of the season. I'd like to point out it's the first game Juan Mata started.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, it's true. There's 2 games left to play. It's an absolute disgrace. The managers, previous managers and this manager. I'll cut Rangnick a little bit of slack. He's had a few months in the job. Although I'll cut him a little bit of slack, if you're a football man, you should grasp it a bit quicker. You know, somebody phoned me up while I was just in the suite having a couple of pints before it came out. Someone rang me up and told me about Rangnick's interview. Have you heard what he said, Adam, after the game?
I've not seen it yet, mate.
Right.
It's news to me.
Right. The interviewer said to Rangnick after the game, "How come you played so well tonight in comparison to previous games?" And he said, "Because we had Mata and Matic in midfield." Now then, that's an indictment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, isn't it? It's an indictment of Rangnick. Rangnick must have had 20 games.
A contradiction.
Yeah, he must have had 20 games. He said we played better because we had the quality of Matic and Mata. I've been banging on about this for 3 years. They've been underused for 3 years. The last time, if you cast your mind back to the end of last season, when we played Wolves away, when we were resting people, before we played in Gdansk in that Europa League final. We played Wolves away. In that game, Matic started, Mata started. These were the reserves. Elanga started, Donny van der Beek started, and I can't remember whether it was after the game outside or whether it was there was COVID then. Maybe it wasn't after the game. It must have been on a show where I said the reserve team is better than the first team. And although it's not all of those players tonight, Matic and Mata and Elanga have started tonight. We've played great at Wolves last season. Played great at Wolves. We'd have had more chance of winning that Europa League, I mean it hand on heart, if we would have picked those players. Yeah. And tonight we've played better. We've got those players in the team, we've played better, and not only that, the manager comes on and says, you know, we had the quality of Mata and Matic in the middle of the field. You couldn't make it up.
No, mate,
I want to mention Keano as well. I love Roy Keane. I absolutely love Roy Keane like there's no tomorrow. One of the greatest players that's ever worn our shirt.
Good job, he's right behind you, mate.
Yeah, he's probably here somewhere, isn't he? But on TV last week, he mentioned bringing on Matic and Mata as if it's a testimonial. I don't know if you saw that interview. Yeah, well, it's not an interview. He's actually on the TV. He said, you know, playing Mata and Matic. It's a bit like treating it like an end of season game or a testimonial game. He said, but there's points to be won. There's a game to be won, and I'm thinking that's a complete contradiction. Keano, it's a complete contradiction. We've got more chance.
What a load of shit.
We've got more.
Get rid of them. The lot.
We've got more chance.
De Gea and Ronaldo for next year.
We've got more chance of winning the game with Matic and Mata playing. He's saying don't play him because it's a testimonial. It feels like a testimonial. You know, you're rolling them out because it's the last game. But they're the best players. They're still the best players. Yeah. They are still the best players. Now, they're both going to still be playing. I don't know where they're going to go. And they're that good. People might laugh, but every time they play well. I think some people get mixed up with how crap we've been most of the season, but you've got to bear in mind Mata started his first game tonight in the league. It's his first start.
I know, mate.
Matic has hardly kicked a ball either. He's just got in recently because Pogba's been injured. So you've got to grasp that we've been shit all season, but that's without them two playing.
Yeah.
If they'd have played all the time, we'd have been better. Now, mark my words. I'll be staggered if we sign a better player than Nemanja Matic. And I mean as he is now. I mean as he is now.
Yesterday, mate.
Yeah, not as he was 10 years ago or 8 years ago. I'll be staggered if we sign a better player than Nemanja Matic. I'll be staggered if we sign a better player than Juan Mata. I'll be staggered. Come next Christmas, I don't know who we're going to have in midfield, but I'll put money on it that wherever they're playing, we would still be better next Christmas if they were playing in our first team rather than whoever is playing in our first team at that time. I'll be amazed if that's not the case.
Do you feel like that 4-treble-2 which was there tonight suited our players as well? And was it the change in personnel that actually proves that that system can actually work? Because against Crystal Palace, same formation, not as convincing as tonight, but about 5 different players to tonight. So it sort of rolls into what you're saying there, that Rangnick did have a plan. Why wasn't it implemented more? Was his hands tied behind his back with the team selection? Because he contradicted himself, like you said then, and he said it's the best we've played because we've got them two in. Them two have been available, like you said, all back end of this season. That system works. Why hasn't that been implemented sooner?
Sorry to not quite answer your question, but something you just said reminded me of something I wanted to say. For him to say we've got more quality in our team because those two played, it's almost, you'd expect a manager to say that if the players had been injured all that time or suspended a lot or whatever, but they've just not been selected. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But to get back to your question, whether it was the change, I don't think the changing. Look. People who look after the ball, like Mata does, some of the things Mata did tonight were unbelievable. The ball that came out to him from our box from the east stand, was that the second half from the east stand, and he just flicked it round the corner. It's straight. Yeah, it's a fantastic ball. But then also the move where the goal was disallowed, Ronaldo's goal that was disallowed. I've not seen it again actually on screen. I've been told it's like half a foot offside, but. Not just the fact of Mata passing the ball to Ronaldo, it was perfectly weighted, by the way. Lots of players wouldn't have got it quite right, that. But the ball comes to Mata on the half volley or on the volley with his weaker foot, his right foot, and he just lifts it back. I can't remember who played him in.
Bruno.
Was it Bruno? Yeah. But he just lifts it back to Bruno and spins into the space. It's just an absolute joy to watch. It's an absolute joy to watch.
This is going to be the toughest question you've ever been asked all season this week. You're going to have to choose between Mata and Matic for man of the match tonight. Who's getting it? Who's getting it?
I want to put a word in for Ronaldo, by the way.
Awesome.
I want to put a word in for Ronaldo. I mean, he's obviously a great player. It's obvious. But tonight, he seemed to revel in playing next to players who as far as I'm concerned, who were on his wavelength. He's generally not playing with players who are on his wavelength, but Mata is, and Matic is. Matic put another one of them great lofted balls through today, didn't he? He's got 2 assists in the last 2 games, put a great ball through to Bruno. I don't know if he was offside. Bruno should have scored. Man of the match tonight, Juan Mata.
Vicky, ledge, mate. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Nice one, mate.